My name is Somashekar, course faculty for this course. Now come back to the problem of stamping operation. A plus, B plus, B minus, A minus to stamp the workpiece. Come back to this. The first and foremost thing is we have to represent the task in the power circuit first while building the pneumatic circuits. Draw the power circuit with the cylinders, final control elements DCV and sensors for end positions of the cylinders. As already know it, we are two cylinders we are using, A 1.0, B 2.0. Automatic operations is achieved through the sensor positions as A0, A1 for the cylinder A, A0 for the retracted position, A1 for the extended position. Similarly, B0 and B1 for the cylinder B. Then we are using the two 5x2 double pilot DCV. We can name it as 1.1 and 2.1 is used to control the cylinder A and cylinder B. But remember, exactly below the cylinder A and cylinder B, you have to place as shown in the figure below here. You will see here friends, A, cylinder A 1.0, initial position A0, extended position A1. Similarly, B, B0, B1. Exactly below this, one I am using the 5x2 DCV, 1.1, exactly below this 1.1. Here 2 is there, no 2.0, that is why 2.1 is 5x2 DCV. 14 and 12 are the signals. 14 and 12 are the signals. This is known as a power circuit. Power circuit is main cylinders, beneath this the main control valves 5x2 DCV, adding this and then mentioning the sensor positions of each cylinders. Now complete the control task. A plus, B plus, B minus, A minus. You already know that. How to do this? Complete the control circuits by adding the various valves to the power circuit. Make sure that the circuit has at least one start push button, as I have told you, remember this, for complete control. When you will press this, stop, no energy to any cylinder. When you will press this, energy starts moving. One control valve is very, very important in the any circuits. Initially, sensors A0, B0 are shown in the actuated position, as because the two cylinders are in complete retracted position, as I have told you. Always retracted position is A0, B0 should be there. That is why what I am doing is, I am doing here A0 position, I am making to monitor starting here, then B0 position, you have to sense it. Please remember friends here, beneath the main 5x2 control valve, 3x2 way valve I am using for controlling this actuation 14, 3x2 way valve it is. But as I have told you, it will always starts with the A0 and B0, that is why I am making this position A0, B0. Please remember, this is I am taking 1.2, 1.3. One main control valve is required, that is 1.4. Again it is a 3x2 way valve. When we will push this, all the things will start. Otherwise, it is stopped. Always you will remember, always you have to draw it in the retracted position. Retracted position you will see always. But this purposely I am doing A0 and B0 like this. A0 and B0. Let us we will see now. For proper functioning of the entire loop, identify the presence of signal conflicts after pressing the push button 3/2 way of DCV. This is 1.4. After pressing this one only you will come to know that, because both cylinders are in the null position now. If present, remove by some means. Otherwise, this valve 5/2 way valve will not switch over if signal conflicts will occur. If signal conflicts both appear at the same time. Let us will see now here. Let us start. When we press the push button of 3/2 DCV of A1. This is 1.4, correct? If you will press this, observe the signal flow at 1.1 through the port 14 and 12, what is there. See now here, when you will press this, what happen? Energy will pass through this. But you will see now, but previously we made the B0 is to monitor continuously. I am given this position for the cylinder A, correct? Now you will see signal is appearing here and appearing here, continuous monitoring, meaning valve will not switch over. Signal conflicts occur because of continuous monitoring of B0 here. B0 means cylinder B should be in the retracted position. That is the main problem here. Now what I did, we will see this how to do it, but understand this now. So we have observed the presence of two pilot signals at valve 1.1, 14 and 12, and hence it is unable to switch over. What we will do now? The reason for this signal conflict is, as I have told you, the persistence of signal at port 12 of valve 1.1 because of the continuous monitoring of B0. As a result of continuous actuation of B0 at cylinder B, both signals are there. Then what to do? Somehow you have to release this. How to do? I will teach you, no need to worry now. Now we will see if sensor B0 can be disengaged somehow. Later, but it is required, mandatory, B0 should be there, then only A will extend, then B will extend. It is required, but you have to disengage now. That is why I am writing here, if sensor B0 can be disengaged somehow, later we discuss how to disengage with different methods. Now we will assume that I disengaged signal 12. Now circuit looks like this, I disengaged. How to do it? What is the mechanism? I will tell you. But now we will assume it if there is no signal here. Now we will see, friends, what happens. Now correct, it is no signals. If you will press this signal, now let us start from the beginning. When we press the push button of 3/2 DCV of cylinder, the 1.4, then observe the signals always at the 5/2 level. Now we will see energy will come here, it will come. But here no signal, we disengage by somehow, I will teach you how. Now what happens? Automatically it will switch over. It will, energy will come to this position, left position. Then what happens? Cylinder will, A will starts moving. Now we will see this. Now the cylinder, now see here, when it will come, automatically it will, energy will come to the head side. The cylinder A is extending. as soon as it will reaches the A1, sensor will actuate it. Correct? Now we will see, as cylinder A extends A plus, sensor A1 actuates, which in turn actuates after A cylinder extend, B should actuates. No, that is why you will see here the sensor position is here. The sensor A1 actuates, which in turn actuates the 3 by 2 DCV provided at cylinder B. This is 2.2 get actuated, so that it will sense the pilot signal 14 to the valve 2.1 to actuate. Correct? It will actuate, but you will check signal conflict is there at this here. Here it is there signal conflict? No. Now check the presence of signal conflicts at 14 and 12 of 2.1. So friends, what happened? No signal conflicts. Hence, the cylinder B extends, B plus will takes place. Energy automatically it will come here, it will extend. Thereby actuates B1, after B1 will extend, which in turn after B1 what happen? After extending, B minus will takes place. That is why you will see here, it will come here. When it will extend to B1, it actuates this valve. What happens friends? The signal will come here. Then what is there here? Signal is there. Signal conflict will take place. Remember, now we will see friends here, once the 3 by 2 actuates, meaning 2.3 actuates, because of the cylinder B is in extended position and sensed by the B1, a pilot signal 12 appears on 2.1 DCV. Please check the 2.1 DCV is responding to pilot signal 12? No. As I have told you, already signal 14 is there. Why 14 is there? Because I want to monitor A extended position afterward. When B retracts, A retracts. That is why I want to monitor that position. That is why it is, look here, signal conflicts. Correct? What we will do now? If A1 can be disengaged somehow, then DCV 2.1 switch over to this, then only it retract, otherwise no. Because already A I am making, it should extend. Now we will see friends. When I will disengage this by somehow, what is that? I will tell you. If now I will making assuming that there is no signal here, then it will come, energy will come to the rod end, it will retract. When the cylinder B is fully retracted, meaning when it reaches the position B0, which in turn after B0 what happen? A will retract back. That is why you will see, which in turn sends the signal 3 by 2 of 1.3, meaning 1.3 or for the cylinder A, which in turn sends the signal to DCV 1.1 of cylinder A, meaning it is a 5 by 2 valve. You will see now. Again you will check the signal conflicts. I will draw this, you will see here friends. Now we will see, when the B0 will takes place, here B0 will takes place, automatically it will, signal will come. Check the signal conflict? No, no signal conflict because it is dotted. Then what happen? Cylinder A will be back. Energy will go to the tail side, whatever the air is there, it will go to the atmosphere. correct. See now how the signal conflicts will occur when we are making to monitor continuously the cylinder retracted positions. And also we are putting the condition cylinder A is extended position only because it is holding the workpiece, B will do the work. Then what happen? You have to monitor A is in extended position only. After B will go, A will go. These conditions makes us the signal conflicts to occur at 5/2 dCV. Correct? You are seeing now. So, from the above analysis of the design pneumatic circuit for stamping operation, what we have shown here, it can be identified that the roller valve B0, correct, and A1, these are the problems, correct. You have to release, I told you. Then I told you release this. If you will make this instantaneous detection, then no signal conflicts. You will see now, because this B0 meaning this side 12 of 1.1 and 14 of 2.1, these are responsible for the signal conflicts. To eliminate the problem of signal conflicts, one of the simplest method is avoid by continuous monitoring of the retracted position of cylinder B, B0, and extended position of cylinder A, A1, because these are responsible for signal conflicts. You are seen already. There are many methods are there. One among them is we can use 3/2 idle return roller valves for instant monitoring when cylinders will extend completely or retract completely. Because valves are like this, when it is extend, it will sense it is extended. Once it will go out, it will inactive, this valve is inactive, but it is ensuring that cylinder is extended. If you place in the other direction, when it will come back, one instant it will detect, afterward no. You have to use 3/2 idle return roller valves at B0 and A1. But A0 and B1, no problem. You keep this 3/2 roller valve is more than enough. Also please note that, as I have told you, the signals from the idle return valves are not continuous, and this will help in overcoming the signal conflicts. Also note the 3/2 dCV at position A0 1.2 of dCV and at position B1 2.3 dCV need not be replaced with the idle return roller valves, as these valves do not cause any signal conflicts for the given control task. So, the final circuit looks like this. See here, I am keeping same here. A is in actuated in the retracted position, I am monitoring. But here, how I am relieving? I am using the 3/2 idle return roller valve. If you use this, what happen? The B0 position, when it will retract, it will monitor instantly. Not continuous monitoring is not required. Similarly, here also, what is our objective here? B is extended or not to monitor. That is why you will see here, you will put the 3/2 idle return roller valve. Then it is disengaged. This is one of the easiest way to overcome the signal conflicts across the 5/2 dCV. Now we will move on to cascade method, design and operating principle. This is also one of the important method widely used in industry to overcome the signal conflicts in pneumatic circuits. In this method, the sequence of operations of cylinders, for example, A plus, B plus, B minus, A minus can be divided into appropriate number of groups in such a way that there is no possibility of signal conflicts. If A plus A minus operations happen to be in one group, then there is a possibility of signal appearing simultaneously at both ends of the final control element 5/2 DCV of cylinder A to operate for extension and retraction of cylinder A, which is the state of signal conflict. Meaning here, in one group you should not make the group A plus A minus, because it will not understand whether shall I extend or shall I retract. That is why A plus A minus should be in the different group. Similarly, for B plus B minus, C plus C minus cases are leading to signal conflict cases if you will group it in the same group. So, they are not in the same group. Hence, the sequence of operations is divided in such a way that A plus and A minus fall into different groups, B plus, B minus fall into different groups, and so on. For example, we have seen in the previous slides stamping operation. A plus, B plus, B minus, A minus, correct? How to group these things? You will see here how I am grouping. A plus, cylinder A is extending, then cylinder B is extending, no problem, it is correct. A minus, cylinder A is retracting, cylinder B is retracting. You will make a group in such a way that they are in the A plus A minus should be in the different group. Similarly, B plus B minus in the same group. After dividing the sequence of operations into a number of groups, then next requirement of the cascade method is to divide the power supply for the control circuit into the same number of groups as for the sequence of operation, in such a way that at any given point of time only one group will have a power supply with all other groups connected to the exhaust. So, by appropriate interconnection of 5/2 DCV, power supply can be divided into 2, 3 or more number of groups based on how you are dividing the sequence of operations to be performed. Let us will discuss first these power groups, how they will divide. Power supply positions in a two group circuit. If you are making the two group, for example, in the stamping operation, A plus, B plus, A minus, B minus, we made no. For this, how the power supply positions will looks, let us will see now. Let E1, E2, E3, what how many want, are the input signals to the cascade, and G1, G2, G3 are the output signals from the cascade. You will see here how I am dividing this. G1, G2, 5 by 2 eval, E1, E2. Here I am showing here E1 signal is there, that is why this port is active. You will see here the E2 signal is inactive, this port is inactive, meaning G2 is inactive. Please remember friends how to draw this circuit, meaning the power supply position in two group circuits, two groups are there, G1, G2, that is why E1 and E2 signals are required to invoke either G1 group or a G2 group. For this I am using 1 5 by 2 DCV. How it operates you will see. Initially the power supply is in the last group G2. Please remember this friends. All the circuits when you are designing using the cascade method, always the power supply is in the last group. Here it is a G2 group, you will see it will start from here G2, meaning G1 is vented out. Please see here only G1 is dark here because it is receiving the power, but G1 is vented off. When E1 is signal is coming, that time G1 is receiving the power, G2 is vented off. Please understand this, very important friends it is. When a control signal is applied to input E1, the power supply changes from G2 to G1, and when the control signal is applied to E2, the power supply changes to group G2 from group G1. Therefore, when the control signals are applied to inputs E1 and E2 of a 5 by 2 DCV, in that sequence E1, E2, the power supply changes to the group G1 and G2 across the cascade. Meaning you will see, remember here friends, when I am grouping the sequence of operation of multi-cylinders, in each group I am taking care that there should not be a signal conflicts. For example, A plus A minus should not be in the same group, B plus B minus should not be in the same group. That time what happened? What are the sequence of operation you grouped in the G1 or G2 or G3? Only that group is on. Other groups are vented to the atmosphere. They will not receive any signal. Similarly, let us will see the power supply positions in a 3 group circuit, meaning if I am making the sequence of operation control task G1, G2, G3. For example, if I am operating the 3 cylinders, that time 3 groups are there, I will make the 3 groups G1, G2, G3. That time how many signals are required? E1, E2, E3. Correct friends? Already we know that. Now previously we have seen 2 group, only 1 5 by 2 eval, E1 and E2. Now I may require the 3 control signal to invoke the G1, G2, G3. How many signals? E1, E2, E3 are required. That is why I am using, now we will see how it is. I am using the 2 5 by 2 DCV. Now always you will remember what is the null position? Always in the last group, meaning you will see E3, meaning other groups are, you will see here, vented off. Other groups are vented off. When signal E3 is there, G3 group, whatever you clubbed in the G3, those cylinders will receive the signal. Other cylinders are not receiving any power. That is the beauty of cascade method. Now we will see how it will work. Initially, the power supply is in the last group, E3, meaning G3. When a control signal is applied to E1, what happens now friends? The power supply changes to group G1 from G3. G2 and G3 are vented to atmosphere. You will see here. Only when I will apply the E1 signal, you will see the power supply is coming here, only dark. This is G1 group is receiving the energy. Others you will see, others are vented off. You will see here, others are vented off. Please remember friends, this is a beauty. Similarly, when a control signal is applied to E2, if I am applying to E2, then what happens? The power supply changes to group G2 from G1, correct, from G1. Then what happens here? You will see here friends, energy is coming here, going to G2 is an active. G1 is vented off, G3 is also vented off. Remember, very important it is. When the control signal is applied back to input E3, what happens? The power supply changes to group G3 from G2 because previous state is G2. Now we will see here again G1 and G2 are vented off, E3 and G3 are active. Please remember how the power supply positions in the 3-group circuit. Similarly, we have to make a number of groups. I will show you one more. If your operations control sequence is more, you are handling the multiple cylinders like a 4, like a 5, 6, that time you have to group this in such a way that no signal conflicts in each group. Now, I will show you one more 4-group circuit. 4-group means G1, G2, G3, G4. Draw quickly the horizontal lines G1, G2, G3. But make sure that how many signals are required? E1, E2, E3, E4. Correct? You will see here E1, E2 is required, E3 is required, E4 is required. As I have told you, the null position always power supply is in the last position. Meaning when E3 is there, power supply is coming here, you will see. G4 is on. All the elements, all the actions in G3 are receiving the signals. Others are vented off. You will see others are vented off. Now let us will see how it will work now. Initially, the power supply is in the last group G4. When the control signal is applied to input E1, the power supply changes to group G1 from G4. Remember, because previous state is a G4, when you apply the signal E1, immediately it will jump to the G1, the G4 is vented off. Similarly, when a control signal is applied to the input E2, the power supply changes to group G2 from group G1. When a control signal is applied to E3, what happens? G3 is an active. G1, G2, G4 are vented off. Similarly, when a control signal is applied to E4, the power supply changes to group G4 from group G3. Please remember this. Even though it increases the number of 5/2A valves, but it will never leads to signal conflict case, as we have seen simple operation in stamping operation. You will see here friends, when I am operating the multiple cylinders, that time if you will not use this cascade method, then difficult task it is. You have to identify every time 5/2A valve where we are getting the signal conflicts. In which position it is affecting, either you have to use, as I have told you, 3/2 idle return roller valve. The best method is cascade method, but it requires the practice. You have to practice how the circuit will work.